More people streamed underground fight films last year than watched the actual UFC prelims. That's how powerful tournament stories have become. Today, we're counting down the 10 ultimate martial arts tournament movies. From brutal underground circuits to emotional redemption arcs. And, trust me, the #1 pick redefined how fighters move on screen. If you could step into any movie tournament, which one would you survive? Drop your answer below, then let's dive in. Number 10. Lady Bloodfight. Jessica, a drifter haunted by loss, enters an underground tournament for women where defeat isn't just pain, it's humiliation. Directed by Chris Nahan, Lady Bloodfight strips away glamour to expose the raw discipline behind martial combat. The fights are crisp and tightly framed, letting every elbow and knee feel earned. Amy Johnston's portrayal isn't about brute strength, it's about endurance, fear, and the stubborn will to rise. Beneath the violence, the story captures what happens when inner scars drive physical transformation. It's a rare film where vulnerability becomes a weapon. Sometimes, strength doesn't roar, it breathes quietly between punches. For anyone drawn to stories where determination outweighs power, Lady Bloodfight proves that even the underdog bleeds brilliance. Number 9. Never Back Down. Set in the suburban sprawl of Orlando, Never Back Down brought MMA to teenage rebellion. Sean Ferris stars as Jake, a hot-headed newcomer who channels anger into a brutal underground fighting scene. Director Jeff Wadlow crafts a story that balances high school drama with legitimate fight choreography, giving every strike emotional consequence. What could have been a cliché becomes a lesson in self-control and mentorship, especially under Jimon Hounsu's grounded performance as a trainer who teaches discipline over dominance. Each fight reflects an internal war, pride versus humility, rage versus respect. It's fast, loud, and surprisingly thoughtful. In the end, the film's message lands cleanly. Real victory isn't about breaking others, it's about mastering yourself. Number 8. Best of the Best. Before the era of digital flash, Best of the Best showed that heart could hit harder than any punch. Directed by Robert Radler, it follows an American martial arts team facing South Korea in a tournament that feels more spiritual than competitive. Eric Roberts leads with raw emotion, portraying a fighter torn between revenge and redemption. The film's beauty lies not in its choreography, but in its humanity. Grief, discipline, and forgiveness collide under stadium lights. Every strike carries moral weight. The final fight isn't about victory, it's about honor. That closing handshake? It remains one of the most dignified endings in martial arts cinema. Sometimes, the best win is walking away with respect intact. Number 7. Fatal Contact. What happens when raw talent becomes someone else's currency? Fatal Contact, directed by Dennis Law, dives into the dark side of underground fighting. Wu Jing plays a naive martial artist lured into a brutal circuit where skill is exploited for profit. The choreography is sharp, fluid, and shockingly realistic. Every movement feels like a survival decision. As the fights grow deadlier, the film transforms from spectacle to tragedy, exposing how easily purity in martial arts can be corrupted by greed. Wu Jing's quiet intensity anchors the chaos, his eyes revealing the cost of lost ideals. It's a sobering look at how mastery without moral grounding turns destructive. The message hits deep. When honor is for sale, every victory feels like defeat. Number 6. Kickboxer. Before MMA was mainstream, Kickboxer made Muay Thai a global fascination. Jean-Claude Van Damme stars as Kurt Sloan, an eager brother turned Avenger after witnessing brutal defeat in a Bangkok ring. What begins as revenge becomes an education in humility and pain. The film's training sequences, broken glass, sweat, and silence, feel timeless, turning endurance into art. Van Damme's graceful power defines the tone, brutal yet beautiful. Under David Worth's direction, every roundhouse is framed like a ritual, reminding viewers that mastery demands sacrifice. It's more than a fight story, it's a meditation on resilience. The final battle isn't just body versus body, it's pride versus discipline. Real warriors know the hardest fight is always inside yourself. If you've made it this far, you're clearly a fighter with serious discipline. But here's a quick challenge. What martial arts tournament movie do you think deserves a spot among the greats? Drop your pick in the comments and show us where your fighting spirit stands. If you're enjoying this countdown through sweat, spirit, and cinematic combat, hit that like button. It fuels the dojo and helps more fans discover these legendary battles. And when the final bell rings, check out our top martial arts movies of all time playlist and keep sharpening your skills long after this fight ends. Number 5. Fists of Legend. Years after their glory days, 3 middle-aged men step back into the ring, not for fame, but redemption. Fists of Legend, directed by Kang Woo-suk, turns nostalgia into catharsis. The film blends social commentary with visceral combat, exploring how time erodes strength, but not spirit. The fights are grounded, weary, and deeply human. Every jab carries years of regret. It's less about winning and more about confronting the past. The older bodies ache, but the pride remains unbroken. Each bout becomes a reckoning between who they were and who they became. This isn't about youth or power, it's about dignity. Sometimes the most heroic comeback isn't televised, it's lived. Number 4. Bloodsport. Few films define underground martial arts like Bloodsport. Based loosely on Frank Dux's alleged true story, it captures the raw pulse of the Kumite, a secret tournament where every style and nation collides. Jean-Claude Van Damme's performance transformed him from dancer to global action icon. The fights are diverse and visceral, each one a showcase of combat identity, from Muay Thai brutality to acrobatic grace. Yet beneath the sweat and spectacle lies something simple: belief. Belief in one's training, one's limits, one's purpose. Bloodsport may blur fact and fiction, but it never loses authenticity. It's the movie that made many pick up their first pair of gloves. The lesson still lands. Discipline turns myth into movement. Number 3. Warrior. This movie is less about fighting and more about forgiveness. Gavin O'Connor's film merges family drama with brutal MMA realism, following 2 estranged brothers forced into the same cage. Tom Hardy's quiet ferocity and Joel Edgerton's restraint create a story that hurts as much as it heals. The choreography feels authentic, exhausting, technical, and emotional. Every punch carries decades of resentment. The beauty of Warrior lies in its contradictions. Rage fuels compassion, loss breeds connection. By the final round, it's no longer about victory, but reconciliation. The cage becomes a confessional, the fists a language of love. It's one of the rare tournament films where tears weigh more than trophies. Real strength, it reminds us, isn't physical, it's emotional endurance. Number 2. Blood and Bone. Few martial arts films move with the precision of blood and bone. Michael Jai White embodies controlled fury. Every strike is clean, purposeful, and devastating. Set in the gritty underground of Los Angeles, the film balances moral code with violent necessity. Unlike most action heroes, Bone fights not for fame or vengeance, but for justice and loyalty. The choreography feels almost surgical, efficient, brutal, never wasted. Director Ben Ramsey keeps the camera close, forcing the audience to feel every impact. It's less about competition and more about conviction. White's performance reminds us that integrity can exist even in chaos. Blood and Bone proves a simple truth. Technique wins fights, but honor wins hearts. Number 1. Undisputed 3: Redemption. Scott Adkins elevates the entire tournament genre with this film. As Boyka, the once villainous Russian fighter, he transforms brutality into redemption. Director Isaac Florentine turns prison walls into an arena of purpose, where each fight is a step towards salvation. The choreography, led by Larnell Stovall, is poetry in motion, precise, fast, and astonishingly fluid. Every round feels earned, every fall personal. What makes this film unforgettable isn't the violence, but Boyka's evolution from arrogance to humility. It's not just the best undisputed entry, it's one of the most technically flawless martial arts movies ever made. Undisputed 3 shows that true redemption isn't found in victory, it's fought for, one disciplined breath at a time. From underground cages to sacred dojos, these films prove martial arts isn't just combat, it's character in motion. Every strike reveals purpose, every scar tells growth. The greatest victories come not from domination, but discipline. Van Damme's humility, Boyka's redemption, Michael Jai White's quiet resolve. Each reminds us that mastery begins within. If you crave more journeys through courage, skill, and cinematic legacy, stay tuned. The fight and the wisdom never end here. Hit subscribe and keep your stance strong for our next countdown.